Well, here we are. It's a day in the life of a truck driver. And here I am with Chris Smith. And Chris, can we mention where you're from?
I work for Red Path Carriers.
Red Path Carriers, and Chris has been very generous in inviting me today to do a little trip to Ballarat. I think we're going to be hauling some wheat or something like that.
Grain, yeah.
Grain. And we're currently at the docks in Melbourne, as you can see. And we're going to have a bit of a chat today about men's health in the context of truck driving. And you know, quite often we talk a lot about statistics, you know, men dying, heart disease, suicide, workplace deaths, military deaths, but we talk about a lot about what, but not about why, and what is it really like being a man. So today we're going to go on this little journey up the highway?
The Western Highway.
Up the Western Highway. I'm going to try and get some information from Chris about things you can do, things you shouldn't do to stay healthy on the road. Well on our way now, cruising down the Western...
We're going up the Pentlands.
Cruising down the Western Highway.
Yeah, this is the Western Highway. This is the Pentland Hills. This is the main route to Adelaide.
Chris, this hasn't always been your occupation most recently, has it?
No, it hasn't, no. I was in a management role, and I've just decided that I'd had enough of the stress, and not so much the drama. I enjoyed the dramas and I enjoyed the people I was working with, but the stress of the role, just thought it was just getting too much.
And you've always loved trucks, haven't you?
Always been around trucks. My dad was a diesel mechanic in New Zealand when I was little, so we used to play on the weekends in the trucks and always been around them and loved them. So that's where it all started from.
And then recently, I think I did play a role in helping you transition back into trucks.
You did indeed. Cleared the path for me, cleared my mind. While I was bogged down with what I have to do today and tomorrow, rather than what I need to do to get myself through the next few years. And it was like my health was going nowhere, physically and mentally. And this has just been a breath of fresh air. It's almost like a hobby rather than a job, and it's fun. I get up in the morning, I wake up before the alarm now, and bust myself to get out of bed. Just can't wait to get to work. I just love it.
And you've even said your physical health has improved because you're not drinking so much booze anymore.
You wouldn't think I look at that, but I have dropped a couple of kilos. I'm not drinking on the week during the week. I have a couple of beers on the weekend, but even then it's just a couple. I think that'll do. Whereas I used to give it a fair nudge every night.
So what would you say about doing something that you love?
It means you never have to work. It just means that you get up in the morning and you go and do something that I enjoy, and I come home, I'm much happier. The kids notice it. Even my grown-up kids have noticed. It's just stress-free. It's not the burden. Work's not a burden anymore.
And not to mention your beautiful wife, Kat. She's having a much better time of it.
Kat's really enjoys the new me. Yeah, well, it's the old me back again, I guess.
Yeah.
But it is very easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day stuff, and the pressure and the stress and the financial sort of situation I was in. It's easy to think, well, I have to do it to make ends meet. But we've changed things around a little bit, and now I just let it burn. So it's fun, life's fun.
In terms of your mental health, you've said before it's significantly improved now you're doing something you love.
Yep.
But it's a lot of time on the road and a lot of time to contemplate and to think about things. So what do you do to occupy your time? Apart from pushing all these wonderful buttons.
I think a lot. My mind's ticking over all the time. Like, I was coming up the other day and I saw the railway line and I thought, I can't see it now, so where did it go? It's gone off to the bush somewhere. And it'd be easy to just look on my phone, look at a map and see where it goes. But I thought, no, I've got to nut it out because I've got to work out where it'll go. So it's obviously coming to Ballarat, but what route does it take? So you sort of look around thinking, as it coming in, when I first started doing this job a few months ago, these paddocks were all green. Now they've been ploughed, so you think, well, what was in them?
Yeah.
And then you see the trucks coming out, and I've worked out it was all potatoes.
Yeah.
So they've been harvested now. So as the seasons change, so does the landscape, and so does all the crops. And I guess what we're doing, we're exporting grain.
Yeah.
So the weather is, well, the grain is very dependent on the weather. So we get good rains, then we get good crops. I get more work, more money. So it's all
And just enough money by the sounds of it.
enough to get through, enough to get by. Never going to be a rich man, but
Well, you mentioned before that, you know, being in your more high-flying corporate role where, you know, money was a little bit different, and then deciding that, you know, the value of money, well, the value of happiness far outweighs the money.
Yep. We've just made a few changes, a few tweaks. We don't do all the stuff that, we don't waste as much money as we used to.
On things to make yourself feel good because you felt so bad at work.
I can afford to buy a nice, you know, this or a nice that. Now I don't even need it because, you know, it was almost like a trophy for, I've worked hard, so I can now have this. Well, now I just think, well, I don't really need that.
Because you've got all this.
Because I've got all this. I go
As
to
you were
work.
saying before, this is like your office. I mean, you can even sleep at work if you want to. And then also out there's your office, because I've noticed that you've been waving at a few drivers along the way. So you've got your mates on the road looking out for you.
Yep.
And your horn. Are we allowed to do the horn? Oh.
It's normally up here. I was a bit disappointed it's over here because I like this over here, but anyway.
I want to go on my side.
You see some of the kids on the side of the road and they all go like this, and you just give it a bit of a toot. It's probably not completely legal, but the kids love it. And it's a buzz for me too.
Yeah. Oh, always.
And then you see these guys in the caravans and you think, obviously retired, and where are they going? Where have they been? Because I've got a caravan, I do the same thing. But you see them and you think, you're lucky bugger, where are you off to?
Yeah.
And then you think, oh, it's not real good weather, but it'd be nice to be in a caravan. And you just think they're off seeing the world, seeing what's going on.
Now I've been noticing, Chris, thinking about the nutrition of truck drivers. It's very well known while you're trying to navigate past this truck. We're only going 40 k's an hour at the moment because there's a bit of road works. But yeah, truck drivers are well known to not take care of their nutrition or their physical health. So how do you take care of yours?
I bring it from home. I always bring food from home.
And is that in this thing here?
That's in my fridge, yeah.
In your fridge? Well,
so feel free to open my fridge.
Let me have a look.
Let's have a little inspection. Actually, we'll take the lid off.
Oh, right, okay. So we've got your little bit of that. Oh, you got your fruit. You got your fruit in a package as well. You've got some. Oh, there's a little sandwich down here.
That's my sandwiches.
And some. Is that tuna?
Yeah, can of tuna.
And cordial. Oh,
cannot handle.
That is very weak cordial.
Yeah, they like it.
What flavour is that? Berry or something?
Berry.
And then you got your milk because you're going to probably make a coffee.
I have my cereal every morning, a bowl of cereal.
And a bar. Well, I'd probably rate that quite high in terms of good nutrition.
The thing is, there's no fried food in there.
No.
There's no chocolate.
No.
It's fried food. When you go to a truck stop, they used to just have fried food. That's all they did.
Yeah.
A lot of the truck stops now have got roast of the day, and they'll have veggies and stuff like that, salads. Because a lot of the truck stops now are realising that fried food just puts you to sleep. So the last thing you want to do in this job is something to put you to sleep. Yeah. So even just like feeling snacky, grab an apple. You have to have something that's easy to eat while you're driving.
Yeah.
So like a can of tuna, that's for when you stopped.
Well, you don't want to be opening a can of tuna when
No, because that joke that goes everywhere, fish everywhere, and stings. So you grab an apple or a banana because it's easy to eat.
Oh, is about you crunching the gears then?
Because I'm talking to you. Yeah, so it's got to be something easy to eat.
Yeah.
And nutritional that's not going to weigh you down.
Yeah.
And when you stop, then you have a sandwich or whatever.
Yeah.
Although, if I'm running late for time slot, I just have a sandwich while I'm driving. Now, Kat made me sandwiches, and she cuts the sandwiches, but she didn't quite cut it all the way through the first time.
Oh.
So I picked up my first sandwich, and the second one went straight down the floor. So I had a little quiet word to my wife and said, darling, thank you very much for making me lunch. But would you just want to cut them properly?
Just cut them properly.
Yeah.
Now I've noticed that you haven't been drinking much water either.
I normally do.
But I'm thinking also because you run on a pretty tight schedule. This is your second trip to Ballarat already today, and it's only 12 o'clock.
Yep.
If you drink too much, that would mean you possibly have to make more comfort stops, don't you?
Comfort stops, yeah. And there's not a lot of comfort spots to have a comfort stop.
So you don't like have a little bottle stashed sort of at the side? No, you can't do that?
Some guys do. I know they do.
Yeah.
And it has come very close to that, but no.
Well, given that, like, what the viewers that are watching this video will see how rough the trip is with the phones bouncing around, you wouldn't want to try and aim into a bottle.
It's not good on the bladder.
So all of a sudden you smell like fish from your exploded tuna, and then, you know, a bit of incontinence.
It's not nice for the wife when I get home.
No.
But what I have worked out is I've got a sports bottle.
Oh, yeah.
I'll show you if you just...
Yeah. Just get
So this is a sports bottle.
Oh, yeah. Ah.
You don't have to take the lid off. It just sits down beside me there.
Yeah, it does now because I've reminded you. I haven't even reminded myself. I did bring some water, but I've been so excited by this trip. I had, you know, just been enthralled.
There you go. So and then you just pick it up. You don't have to take the lid off, put it on. Again, it's all down to easily the way you're driving.
How would you describe generally, given that you're in the, you know, the group of truckies, how would you describe generally the physical health of most truck drivers?
The guys I work with, dental hygiene is not high on the agenda.
Yeah.
But like the guy, you do what you do. You make do. A lot of the guys don't go home every night. Most of them, I was saying to Rae before, some of them actually sleep in the truck during the week. So you stop at the side of the road and you go in and you buy what's available. And again, it gets down to what you can eat while you're driving. So you don't buy a big hamburger. What's easy is chips are easy to eat, potato cake's easy to eat.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of stuff you buy because you grab it, you get back in the truck and go. Some of the truck stops, if you ring them and tell them what you want, how much money you're going to pay with, they'll actually meet you at the side of the road with a bag, you change in the bag, so you don't even get out of the truck.
Wow.
So it's good for convenience, but it's not good for your health.
No.
Because even just climbing in and out of the truck, at least it's a little bit of movement.
Yeah.
The previous job I had, sitting in the office all day, the only movement I had was getting up to make a cup of tea or go to the toilet.
Yeah.
And I sort of ended up with a job similar, but a lot of the guys at the wharf, when they pull up at the wharf and they're on the grid, they just walk laps in the truck. So if you work out the trailer's 12 metres long, the truck's another 3, so that's 15 metres. So every lap you do with the two ends, 2.5 metres wide, so that's roughly what's at about 30 metres. So if you do 10 laps of the truck, you walk 300 metres. So if you do that 4 or 5 times a day, just while you're waiting, rather than sit in the truck,
Yeah.
a lot of the guys, and even the guys I used to work with, you see them get out and walk around the truck. And it's like a laughter festival, so it's like being in prison, doing the exercises. But it makes sense. You get back in the truck, you're fresh, ready to go.
Well, even getting into the truck is a bit of gymnastics, isn't it? So I just looked at the truck this morning, thought, how the F am I going to get into that? And then you showed me, which was, I was pretty effortless given I'm so fit, you know.
Yeah, when you drive a Kenworth, you have to be a half monkey to climb up the side. The European trucks have got it designed a little bit differently, and they're a little bit more accessible. And the bolted models are a lot easier to get into, but this particular shape, this cabin, which has been around for years, it's still current, is sometimes difficult to get into.
Yeah. So we're back in Melbourne, Chris. You said it's a completely different experience now. You've got to really focus.
Yeah, you have to really concentrate on everything. Not only what I'm doing, what everyone else is doing.
Because it's quite different to the beautiful trip to Ballarat. So I won't distract you too much. We'll just watch Chris in action here. Hopefully, crunch the gears.
No, but I ain't crying any.
But we've picked up a container, we've driven to Ballarat, we've dropped that one off, and we've picked up one full of hard wheat. And all the way along, reflected to you that the courteousness of people that you deal with every day. It's just
kissy country people.
Or
But even
are they trucking and shipping people?
Yeah, it's just.
But yeah, very
It's a refreshing atmosphere to be in.
Yeah. No, I totally rate trucking life, and would love to come out again one day. In fact, I was going to bring Vincent with me. He asked if he could come, and I said, I'm not really sure, but he would have just slept.
Vincent would have loved it.
Vincent would have really loved it. But thank you so much.
Pleasure.
That was fun. For inviting me and treating me to such a day. It's been a highlight of my week, if not my month.
Every day's a highlight of my month. Now,